Alright, what's up guys? It is early in the morning. The next day here, you guys can see the cut ruby rails. Yeah, so we're loading up right now. Basically, loading up some spare parts, some tools, some necessities, snacks, stuff like that. Because we're about to be going to Stoney Lonesome, do a little test. We have the majority of the stuff that we need to wheel the way that we want to for now. So we're just gonna test it out and just have fun with what we got. Because obviously, you know, we'd like to have a winch, stuff like that. But for now, this'll do. Trying to decide if we're going to take the doors off or the top. The top would be too much work. I just kind of want to go really not take off any of it just because it's going to be muddy. I don't feel like cleaning it later because, as you guys know, we just cleaned the interior all out, put the carpet back in, got it all fresh. So don't really feel like dealing with that yet. I don't know, probably just gonna leave the doors and everything on this time around because I always roll down the windows, but it would be nice to wheel without the doors. Wheeling without the doors would be less weight too, so that would kind of help with a little bit of the initial torque there. But yeah, we're just gonna go and test her out today. It's gonna be dirty for a minute after this because we just detailed it, but it's gonna be storming for the next like 2 weeks, so I mean, not really gonna be much of a point in washing it other than pressure washing all the main stuff off. Gonna try to go slow through any mud that we're going to encounter because we don't want to sling it up in the engine bay, in the powertrain and all that. We're gonna try to keep it out of there and just keep it in the fender wells, or we can pressure wash it out. Just got like $13 or $12 in gas. Didn't want to go with a full tank. You guys can see it's a little bit over 3/4 because I don't really want like a ton of gas sloshing around, but this will be enough to drive an hour, do some wheeling, and then drive back and have a little bit left over. Get it all pumped up, so about to head out. Got like an hour drive. Gonna try to make it there without any stops, probably get some lunch and then wheel. Right now, you guys can see on the interstate, we are currently going, let's see, it says 50, but we're really going like 60, like 65 almost. 5th gear right now, 2,000 RPMs, about, not too bad. Usually downshift to like 4th maybe, but yeah, not too bad. This stock exhaust really does help with like low end initial torque, so that's kind of one of the reasons why we have the stock exhaust on. Also, it feels a lot nicer when you're daily driving too, so that helps a lot. Yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna probably be at Stoney Lonesome within the next 45 minutes or so. Not too much traffic today. Pretty good weather. It's hopefully gonna stay dry. Got a little bit of clouds up there, which is awesome. Anyways. Pretty simple stuff, obviously. Got your 1 pin out. Get me the 2nd pin right here. We're gonna slide. Well, we're kind of on a hill, so I might have to disconnect this one first because that one does not want to come off easily. All right, we got it, boys. Fully disconnected sway bar. Some people were talking about getting an anti-rock or Rubicon sway bar, but personally not crazy about the idea of having the sway bar connected, just more, you know, parts. So this has always been the most cost-effective solution for me personally, but I'm gonna pull that sway bar back up here in a sec, find a place to put all this. All right, now we have the tire deflator kit. I got this off of Amazon Boulder Tools, which is really sweet. I think it was only like $30–40. Gauge so I can read the tire pressure for sure. And then obviously I'm just pulling the valve cores out of the valves here, so that'll let the air to come out a little bit faster, and we'll be able to read it on this. I have this extra so I can read it for sure to make sure it's right, and also to read it when I'm airing back up, so I don't have to screw on this every time to check it basically whenever I'm airing back up. All right, so we went with like 7 psi in the front just because the engine weight is up front, and then we went with 6 psi in the rear. Pretty low. You guys can see the sidewall bulge pretty decent there. So that's going to allow us to have all this traction right here on the side, because if we were aired up, the tire would be stiffer and it'd only get traction to like right here. Now that's aired down, it's going to flatten out and it'll let us use all this. All right, we in Rock Creek now. Stopping right here. Bathroom break real quick. I'm about to head up yonder. Y'all can see it looks pretty fun. So we got some pretty good rocks. We're gonna see if we can get some slippage going. Looking at suspension real quick while we have her at this flat spot. Y'all can see that the brake line looks great. Control arm's looking good. On this side, we got the bump stops doing their job, keeping that tire off that bracket. That's awesome. Everything else looks solid. We check out the rear here. Still doing pretty good. Love that clearance there. It's awesome. You can see that tire is just heating it up right now. It's pretty slick out here today because it rained last night and it's been raining this morning. So it's pretty fun. There's like literally not one Jeep out here, and I don't have a winch, so I'm kind of screwed if I mess up. But we're just testing it out today. I'm gonna try to test out the rock sliders, have a little fun. Not gonna do anything too serious. It's gonna be a good time though.
box sliders.
All right, so that was Rock Creek. We didn't film like all the boring stuff. We just filmed like only the highlights. Obviously, it's a lot more slick today. This is actually the first time that this Commando JKU has been to Stoney Lonesome, because obviously you guys know that we just got this thing. So, you know, getting all the little things, necessities here and there. Pretty fun though. Definitely need to work on a couple things, fine tune some more stuff. A little bit of carnage here. Good old scrape. You guys check out that control arm bash. There's a good bit more stuff. That's just looking at it right now, but I'll show you guys all the aftermath once we clean it. But the coolest carnage that we got was obviously this, and that's being, speaking of being, there's a bee on my wheel. He's like, dang, dude, check out that rock rash, that carnage, brother. That's sick. I'm really digging these deep gashes, bro. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. Obviously, I got a little more up front here, which is cool. Always cool. I think the other side's pretty good. I think this side was the side I was really hitting my ruby rails on. Don't think I was, yeah, I really wasn't hitting the rock rings over here on the wheels too much, but got some good slaps on the ruby rails on this side. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see because of the dirt. We'll spray it off, show you guys later, but hit some pretty decent sized rocks under here. Anyways, head to the next trail. We are a little hung up, not really so much in the front, but like in the rear. Let's see where we're at. All right, shock mount, definitely hanging us up. I don't really know why it's causing so much trouble, but we're spinning all four, nothing's happening. So I'm gonna try to bump that and then hit it again, because coming up here, we're definitely not making progress in the front here. As you guys can see, tie rod is just getting demolished. Oh wow. I think we're losing tire pressure because the rock is digging into the bead of the tire. You guys can see that, it's crazy. All right, yeah, time to back this off. All right, we were in a major bind. We were kind of pinned, as you guys saw in this rock. We dug out a freaking hole right here. You can see my green powder coat on that rock right there, and where the rubber got rubbed off. This sharp rock was in the bead of the tire on the edge of the wheel. It was actually grinding off the wheel. Obviously the tie rod was just getting destroyed on this rock because it was high centered out right there.
And then we were high centered in the rear on our shock mounts. So a bit of a sticky situation. Tie rod is going to have to be readjusted. As you can tell, we smashed our diff cover up pretty well. The whole bottom of the tie rod is just yeah, pretty scraped up, nothing crazy, but I've never actually seen this happen before, only on camera, you know. Just looking at where like the rock was just chewing into the wheel. So I kind of had to like rock it back and forth because whenever the passenger tire would want to climb up, so this tire would want to climb up on this, so we're kind of sitting at an angle, so it was kind of like sitting back like this, and it was kind of teeter-tottering, so that was not a good feeling. But obviously camera never does justice, you have to really see it in person. But I mean, this is a pretty steep hill. I mean, yeah, really hard to tell on camera, but it's a pretty steep little hill. That was just a ground clearance issue. Obviously, sitting on the tie rod there, we would have made it for sure, and we might even attempted going up just like right here in the middle, kind of like we usually do. Like we said earlier, it is sloppy out. It's not like the sloppiest it's ever been, but it's definitely wet. There's hardly any traction, no dust coming up. You guys saw we just have a bunch of mud everywhere.